Good evening, ladies and ladies. Okay, gentlemen too. Welcome to Soulful Production Incorporated's fundraising production of Eve Ensler's Vagina Monologues. Oh, hell on that. The Vagina Monologues. Tonight, you will hear stories from women all over the world as recited by the strongest, most beautiful women I know. Tonight, as we stand in solidarity against domestic violence, please visit the Chez table and read the stories of the lives that have been lost due to domestic violence right here in our own community. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please, at this time, check your cell phones. Make sure they're on mute. I will give you time now. Okay, now that you've done that, please double check it, or we will post something bad about you on Facebook if your phone goes off during this show, and I have to deal with 10 pissed off ladies tonight. Alright. Also, everyone taking pics, please, no flash. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this show will be played in 2 acts with a 15-minute intermission. Now sit back and prepare to have fun while we bring you to the world of the Vagina Monologues.
So there were vagina interviews, which became Vagina Monologues. Over 200 women were interviewed. Old women, young women, married women, single women. There were even lesbians and college professors, actors, corporate professionals, sex workers, women of all races, African American women, Hispanic women, Asian American women, Native American women, Caucasian women, and even some Jewish women. Okay, at first they were a little reluctant to talk. They were a little shy. But once they got going, girl, you couldn't stop them. Women secretly love to talk about their vaginas. They get very excited, mainly because no one's ever asked about my vagina before.
Well, look here. Let's just start with the word vagina. You know, it sounds like an infection, you know? Maybe a medical instrument. Hurry, nurse, bring me the vagina. You know, it doesn't matter how many times you say it, it's completely ridiculous and it's kind of unsexy. You know, if you use it during sex, trying to be politically correct, darling, could you come over and stroke my vagina? Shit, you feel the act right now.
We weren't worried about vaginas. We were worried about what you called them.
In Verdin, where I'm from, we call it a pussycat. Girl, a woman had once told me that her mother used to tell her, don't wear panties underneath your pajamas, girl, you need to air out that pussycat.
Well, baby, down in New Orleans, they call it a pookie.
I heard in New Jersey, they call it a twat.
Then there's powder box and poochie and poopy, poopaloo, and one of my favorites, Punani, girl.
Now, here are a couple of new ones for you. There's a Toady, a Dee, Nishi, Dignity, Monkey Box.
I don't know about y'all, but I've been told some people call it a coochie snorcher. Then there's the famous cooter. How about a levee for the more sophisticated?
Girl, this dude once called it a Gladys Siegelman. Now, what the hell is a Gladys Siegelman?
Well, here's another language for you. There's a VA, a wee-wee, a horse spot, and a nappy dugout.
Now, I've been told before that it's called a mongo, a mookie, a pajama, get all snuggly up in there, a funny boo, and a marshmallow.
Girl, a ghoulie, a possible, as in vegetable, and a tamale.
Well, in Miami, they call it a mimi.
Down in Morgan City, I hear they call it a cocoot.
Now, y'all can tell me if this is true or not. I heard in Franklin, y'all call it a tootie cat. That's what I heard. We were worried about vaginas. But wait, ladies, wait. I really have something I need to get off my chest.
You know, this is gonna be good.
Yes, it is. Well, look, let me tell y'all something. You know, some of these monologues are based on one woman's story. Some of the monologues are based on several women's stories surrounding the same theme. And a few times, a good idea became an outrageous one. The monologue that we're going to hear now is based on one woman's story. Although the subject came up in every interview and was often fought, the subject being hair.
Hair. You cannot love a vagina unless you love hair. Many people do not love hair. My first and only husband hated hair. He said it was cluttered and dirty. And he made me shave my vagina. It looked puffy and exposed like a little girl. But this excited him. When he made love to my vagina, it felt the way a beard must feel. It felt good to rub it and painful at the same time. Yes. Like scratching a mosquito bite. It felt like it was on fire, and there was these screaming red bumps, and I just refused to shave it again. Then my husband, his ass had an affair. When we went to marital therapy, He said he screwed around because I wouldn't please him sexually, when it was really because I wouldn't shave my own damn vagina. The therapist, she said, she had a German accent and gasped between sentences to show her empathy towards him, not me. She said, she asked why I wouldn't want to please my husband, and I told her I thought it was weird. I felt little when my hair was going down there, and I couldn't help talking in a little bitty baby voice. And the skin got even irritated, and even calamine lotion wouldn't help it. She told me that marriage was a compromise, and I asked her if shaving my vagina would stop him from screwing around. I asked her if she'd had many cases like this before. She said that questions diluted the process, and that I needed to jump in, and she was sure that it would make for a great beginning. This time, when we got home, he got to shave my vagina. It was like a therapy bonus prize. He clipped it a few times, and there was a little blood in the bathtub, but he didn't even notice, because he was just so damn happy to be shaving me. Then later, my husband was pressing against me, and I could feel his spiky sharpness sticking into me, into my naked, puffy vagina. There was no protection, there was no fluff, and I refused to shave it again. And that's when I realized that hair is there for a reason. It's the leaf around the flower, the lawn around your house. Basically, you have to love hair in order to love vagina. You can't pick the parts you want. And besides, my husband, his ass never did stop screwing around. Girl, I want a slicker. You know that steak is wet. No.
Let's see, ladies. If your vagina could talk, what would it say?
Let's see. Oh, baby. Slow it down.
Well, Mama say, is that you?
Something can feed me. I want. Yum, yum.
Start again. No, over there.
Well, my turn. Lick me. Stay home. Brave choice.
Yeah. Think again. More, please. Embrace me.
Let's play, baby. Oh, don't stop.
More. Oh.
More.
Oh.
Come inside.
Oh.
Whoa, Mama. Oh, yes. Rock me. Oh, I'm sorry. Got a little carried away.
Well, on them days, I just don't want to be bothered. Enter at your own risk.
Ooh, I think I would call the Lord. Oh, God. Thank God. I'm here. Let's go. Would you please find me?
Thank you. Bonjour. Too hard. Don't give up.
Where's Lance? That's better, that's better. Yes, there. A group of women between the ages of 65 and 75 were interviewed. Their interviews were the most poignant, possibly because many of these women had never had a vagina interview. One woman who was 72 had never even seen her vagina, poor baby. She washed herself in the shower in the bath, and never with conscious intention. She had never never had an orgasm. Look at her. Oh. At 72, she went into therapy. And with the help of her therapist, she went home one afternoon by herself, lit some candles, took a nice bubble bath, she played some music, and she got down with herself. She said it took. You signed a release. She said it took almost an hour. Because as you can see, she has a little bit of arthritis. But when she finally found her clitoris, she said she cried and she cried. This monologue, this was from her.
Sure, a lot of people in here. I ain't seen this many people since I went to bingo last summer. Y'all so pretty. Pretty and ugly. Pretty ugly, serious. Short. What? Down there. Child, I've been down there since 1953. No, it wasn't because of Eisenhower. No. It's a cellar down there. Very damn clammy. You don't want to go down there, trust me. You get sick. You suffocate. Very, very nauseating. The smell of the clamminess and the mildew. Smell was unbearable. Get to your clothes. No, there wasn't no accident down there. It didn't blow up or catch fire or anything. I mean, it wasn't so dramatic. I mean, well, just, never mind. I can't talk to y'all about this. I mean, what's a smart girl like you going around talking to old ladies about the down there store anyway? We didn't do this sort of thing when I was a girl. What? Jesus. Okay. Here we go. There was a boy. Andy Johnson. Yeah, he was cute, honey. Well, at least I thought so. and he was tall, like me. I'm very tall, as you can see. Y'all see me, huh? Okay. And I really liked him. I did. I liked him a lot. I did. He asked me out for a date in his car, and oh hell, I can't tell y'all this. I can't do this. I can't talk about down there. I mean, you. Come on, shut it up. Listen, you just know it's there, you know? Like the cellar, right? Like, you know, the cellar's there. It rumbles sometimes. The pipes, you can hear them. And sometimes things get caught there. Oh yeah, little animals and stuff. Yeah. And sometimes it gets wet. And people have to come and plug up the leaks. Don't act like you ain't never had a leak that need to be plugged. Yeah, otherwise, I mean, you know it's a part of the house, but other than that, you just forget about it, right? You don't see it or talk about it. But I mean, you do know it's there, right? It has to be. Other than that, the bedroom will be in the basement. I'm gonna let y'all think about that for a second. Oh, Andy Johnson. Yeah, baby, Andy was good looking. Yeah, he was a catch. That's what we called him in my day, a catch. Yeah. We were in this car, right? It was a all new white Chevy Bel Air. Woo! If people had money. I was a gold digger. Yeah. I remember thinking my legs were too long for the seat. I have long legs. I told y'all I was tall. Yeah, so they were smushed up against the dashboard. I was staring at my big old kneecaps. Why you laughing? You got big kneecaps too? Laugh at me. I got big kneecaps, yeah. So I was looking at him, and then all of a sudden, the boy just kissed me. And just take me by control, like the way you see in the movies kind of way, right? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Kiss me. And then I got excited. So excited, and then oh Lord. Oh, there was a flood. I mean, I couldn't control it. It was like this forced passion. This river of life just flowed right from me. Right through my panties and right on the seat of the man new cup. Like a puddle just sitting there looking at me like, look at what you did. Right? Yeah, so I mean, wait, I need to tell you something. It was not pee, okay? And it stank. Yeah, well, frankly, I didn't smell anything. But he said, Andy said it smelled like sour milk. told him that was his mama. And then he said I was standing up the seat of his new car. The nerve of him. I tried to explain to him that I wasn't normally like this and that he caught me off guard, right? His kiss he just did it and he caught me off guard. What you want me to do about that? Nothing, right? I just sit there, right? Look here. Yeah. So then, I told him that, right? And then let me tell you, I tried to clean it up with my dress. It was a brand new yellow primrose dress. I know it was so nice. It looked so ugly with the flood on it. Yeah, yeah, I wanted to, well, I told you that already. Hold on, let me get where I was. Yeah. So Andy drove me home, and then he told me what I said, not one other word to me. I was so just, I sit there and I just look at him, you ain't gonna say nothing to me, boy? He was like, no, I ain't gonna say nothing to you. And I was like, what you mean you ain't gonna say nothing to me? Yeah, so then, you know, I got out of this car and I closed the door. When I closed that door, I closed shut. Locked it. Clank, clank. I know what I'm talking about. Never to be open again. I mean, I dated a few after that, but I mean, nobody ever came close because I was always nervous of flooding. Yeah. Oh, I'll tell y'all about this. I used to have these dreams. All right. Hey now. Child, they was crazy dreams. They was dope. Why? Bird Reynolds, that's why. You know, no, honestly, the man never did anything for me in life, but in my dreams, it was always Bert and I. Bert and I. Bert and I. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we be out. Bert and I. It was some restaurant, like the kind you see in Atlantic City, all big and stuff, with the chandeliers hanging down, and the waiters with the vests on it, and there was thousands of them, right? Yeah. And he would give me this croissant. You had the orchids on it. Y'all know the orchids. They had them on there, the penitent blazer. Weren't you? We pinned it up. And we laughed. We were always laughing over Verdin. Oh, and we'd have shrimp cocktail. Huge shrimp. Fabulous shrimp. Oh yes. We laugh and laugh and laugh, right? We were very happy together. Then he looked me into my eyes and he pulled me close to him. In the middle of the restaurant, and just as he was about to go in for the kiss, the whole damn restaurant started to shake. Pigeons fly out from under the table. Now I don't know how those pigeons got there. And then just like that, the flood would come. Oh yeah, the flood would come. It would just pour and pour and pour. Right about it, pour and pour and pour. There would be little fish and boats and stuff. All in there. The whole entire restaurant is filled up with my flood. The restaurant is filled up. And then there would Bert would be standing there, waist deep in my flood, looking hardly disappointed that I had done it again. Horrified as his friends, Steve Martin and the lights, would swim right past him in the flood with the evening gowns and tuxedos on. Right? Oh yeah, it was hard. But I don't have those dreams anymore, honey. Nope, not since they took away just about everything connected with down there. Oh yeah, they moved out the uterus, the tubes, the whole damn works. Yeah, they did. Now listen here. The doctor thought he was being funny, talking about, you don't use it, you lose it. I told him his mama. But really I found out it was cancer. Oh, don't get all fucking sad on me. antiques. I be right down there at the lamplighter, selling my antiques. I sure do, right there. It was highly overrated if you ask me. You ask me, what would it wear? What the hell kind of question is that? I'll tell you what the hell it would wear. It would wear a sign that said closed due to flood. What the hell kind of question is that? Oh, I swear your mama must have dropped you on your head and sure. It's crazy. Now what you mean, what would it say? I told you it's not like that. It stopped being a thing a long time ago, honey. A thing that could talk, at least a person. Ain't none of that. It's a place under the house that people don't go to. It's just down there. You happy? You made me talk. You got an old lady to talk about her down there. Hell, you feel better? Shut up, little pretty little lady. You know, actually, this is the first time I ever told somebody about this, and I kind of feel better. Thank you for your time.
My vagina is a shell, a round, pink, tender shell, opening and closing, closing and opening. My vagina is a flower, an eccentric tulip. The center acute and deep, the scent delicate, the petals gentle but sturdy. I did not always know this. I learned this in the Vagina Workshop. I learned this from a woman who runs the Vagina Workshop. A woman who believes in vaginas, who really sees vaginas, who helps other women see their own vaginas by seeing other women's vaginas. In the first session, the woman who runs the Vagina Workshop asked us to draw a picture of what our own unique, fabulous, beautiful vagina looked like. That's what she called it. She wanted to know what our own unique, beautiful, fabulous vagina looked like to us. One woman, who was pregnant, drew a big red mouth, screaming, with coins spilling out of it. Another, very skinny woman, drew a big serving platter with kind of a Devonshire pattern on it. Me, I drew a huge black dot with squiggly lines all around it. The black dot was equal to a black hole in space, and the squiggly lines were meant to be people or things. Just your basic atoms that you see that got lost there. I had always thought of my vagina as an anatomical vacuum, randomly sucking up particles and objects from the surrounding environments. I did not think of my vagina in practical or biological terms. I did not, for example, see it as something attached to me. In the workshop, we were asked to look at our vagina with hand mirrors. Then after careful examination, we were to verbally report to the group what we saw. I must tell you, up until that point, everything I knew about my vagina was based on hearsay or invention. I had never really seen the thing. It had never occurred to me to look at it. My vagina existed for me on some abstract plane. It seemed so reductive and awkward to look at. Like we were in the workshop on our shiny blue mats with our hand mirrors. It reminded me of how the early astronomers must have felt with their primitive telescopes. I found it quite unsettling. At first, my vagina, like the first time you see a fish cut open, and you discover this other bloody, complex world inside, right under the skin, it was so raw, so red, so fresh. And the thing that surprised me most was all the layers. Layers inside layers. Openings into more layers. My vagina amazed me. I couldn't speak when it came to my turn in the workshop. I was speechless. I had an awakening to what the woman in the workshop called vaginal wonder. I just wanted to lay there and lay on my mat and look at my vagina forever. It was better than the Grand Canyon, ancient and full of grace. It had an innocence and freshness of a proper English garden. It was funny, very funny. It made me laugh. It could hide and seek, open and close. Then the woman who ran the workshop asked how many women in the workshop had orgasms. 2 women raised their hands.
Damn.
I didn't raise my hand, but I had orgasms. I didn't raise my hand because they were accidental orgasms. They happened to me. They happened in my dreams, and I would wake in splendor. They happened in a lot of water, mostly in the bath.
Run that faucet.
They happened on bicycles, on the treadmill at the gym. I did not raise my hand because although I had had orgasms, I did not know how to make one happen. I thought it was a mystical, magical thing, and I didn't want to interfere. It felt wrong getting involved, contrived, manipulative. It felt so Hollywood. The surprise would be gone, and the mystery. The problem, of course, is I hadn't had a magical, accidental orgasm in a long time. And I was frantic. That's why I was in the vagina workshop. And then the moment had arrived that I would have dreaded and longed for. The woman who ran the workshop asked us to take out our hand mirrors again and to see if we could locate our clitoris. We were there on the group of us on our backs, on our mats, finding our spots, our reason. And I don't know why, but I started crying. Maybe it was sheer embarrassment. Maybe it was knowing that I had to give up the fantasy, the enormous, life-consuming fantasy that someone or something was going to do this for me. The fantasy that someone was coming to lead my life, to choose direction, to give me orgasms. I could feel the panic coming, the simultaneous terror and realization that I had avoided finding my clitoris. It terrified me.
Don't be scared.
I was in fact terrified that I did not have a clitoris. Terrified that I was one of those constitutionally incapables. One of those frigid, dead, shut down, dry, apricot-tasting, bitter. Oh my God! I lay there with my mirror, looking for my spot, reaching with my fingers, and all I could think about was the time when I was 10 and I lost my gold ring with the emeralds in the lake. How I kept diving and over to the bottom of the lake, running my hands over stones, fish, and bottle caps and slimy stuff, but never my rings. The panic I felt. I knew I'd be punished. I shouldn't have worn it swimming. The woman who ran the workshop saw my insane scrambling, sweating, and heavy breathing. She came over. I told her, I've lost my clitoris. It's gone. I shouldn't have worn it swimming. The woman who ran the workshop laughed. She calmly stroked my forehead. She told me my clitoris was not something I could lose. It was me, the essence of me. It was both the doorbell to my house and the house itself.
Doorbell to yes.
I didn't have to find it. I didn't have to find it. I had to be it.
True girl.
Be it? Be my clitoris.
Yes.
Be my clitoris.
That's right.
I lay back with my eyes closed. I put my mirror down. I watched myself float above. I watched as I slowly began to approach myself and re-enter. I felt like an astronaut re-entering the atmosphere of the Earth. It was very quiet, this re-entry. Quiet and gentle. I bounced and landed. Landed and bounced. I came into my own muscles and blood and cells. And then I slid into my vagina. I was suddenly at ease and I fit. I was all warm and pulsing and ready and young and alive. And then, without looking, with my eyes still closed, I put my finger on what had suddenly become me. There was a little quivering at first, which urged me to stay. Then, the quivering became a quake. An eruption. The layers dividing and subdividing. The quaking broke into an ancient horizon of light and silence, which opened onto a plane of music and colors, and innocence and longing. And I felt connection. Calling connection as I lay there thrashing on my little blue mat.
Work it, girl.
My vagina is a shell, a tulip, and a destiny. I am arriving as I am beginning to leave. My vagina. My vagina.
Yes.
Here is a happy fact from Woman, an Intimate Geography by Natalie Anger. The clitoris is pure in purpose. It is the only organ in the body designed purely for pleasure.
Amen. Yes.
The clitoris is simply a bundle of nerves 8,000 nerve fibers to be precise. That's a higher concentration of nerve fibers than is found anywhere else in the male or female body, including the fingertips, the lips, and tongue. And it is twice. Yes, twice the number in the penis. Who needs a handgun when you have a semi-automatic?